Welcome in, everybody. It's the Coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. The Miami Dolphins starting lineup now, and Kenyon Drake, a guy to watch.
He has the ability to affect the game in so many different ways. In the return game, bringing it back himself. Also can be a gunner on the punt coverage team and did that very well at Alabama. But has the ability to run the ball in the backfield as well as catch it. Kenyon Drake, you can use him so many different ways.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
To get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And it's caught by Parker. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense.
In the back, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to...
Adding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Green, 39!
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This from 54 yards away.
Down 4 like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
To the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play action. It's locked. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Bell. And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The give is to Bell. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Locke. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
They have a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 18 carries, 73 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep, Danny Amendola. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Dolphins getting set to go here.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
And they'll run it here. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Blue line. Blue line.
They'll look to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And throw right side complete to Parker. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On first down, Drake working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They're going to look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Drake. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. From the 50, it's Locke. And his throw is going to be incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Locke. And he's got his man Hilton. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Hilton's first catch, good for a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
After the penalty, it's Bell. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A give to Bell. And he gets it down to the 32. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean 1st half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They run it with Balaj. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Dolphins on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Counter play, Drake. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
He'll get it up the middle. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. He's got Amendola. Touchdown, Miami. Danny Amendola, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
McManus's point after is good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Out of the gun. Luck. And he'll find the open man on the right side. It's Kane.
Holding. Offense.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Luck got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Miami.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And Stills over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He dumps it off to Drake. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal sheared. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. The Dolphins on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And McManus able to put it through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Luck. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the Saints who are out in front. Ted Ginn, a touchdown reception. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Big Zeke, Ezekiel Elliott, 2 touchdown runs. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Blake Bortles, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On third down, here's Bell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, second-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Locke. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Locke. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Locke. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. This a 43-yard attempt. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays, or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again.
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. Pass incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's caught here, Amendola. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And McManus able to put it through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Play action. It's Locke. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Doyle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Luck now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Luck now to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down. But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. This is Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back. On 3rd down. That's Bell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage. No yardage to be found. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone. Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one. Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right? Not one that I've ever met. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. John Simon in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
The Dolphins on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. He goes underneath the Drake. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
False start, offense.
So that'll bump it back to a 1st and 15. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Love. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
To the air again, Locke. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Again, Love able to find Deion Kane complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks. And they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Locke. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. Luck again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Luck throwing again. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, Locke. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing again is Locke. And the catch made by Hilton. Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Mack. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Here's Locke. Keeps himself upright. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Let's go.
Right back to Drake. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Lott. Complete to Hilton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. From the gun, here's Lott. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. 3rd down here. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it. And he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Lott. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the 50, it's Lott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Doing with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Lott. He's got it to Hilton. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lott. He finds his target, Fuller. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw, Love. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now Mack, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Now Love. And he'll find the open man on the right side. It's Kane. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes the field goal team once more. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here we go now.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They stay on the ground with Drake. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Set! 3-19!
On third down, Drake. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green!
Balaj. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
On the give, this is Drake. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now on 1st down, Drake again. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Hurry up, here we go!
They'll run here with Balaj. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Dolphins, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it was a